that this course is for network engineers, right? And this course is specifically focused on automation, how we can automate the network. Now, to automate the network, first we have the concept of using a script, or second, we can use the network automation tools. We can use network automation tools. So either you can create a script by yourself, or you can use pre-existing automation tools first of all. And in the network automation, we're going to learn about the techniques or the scripts, that how we can create the network script so that we can automate the day-to-day network tasks alongside using the Python. So either we can create the scripts using those Python scripts, you can automate the task, or we can use the network automation tools, or you can say the software or the controllers, pre-built controllers, or using those controllers, we can automate the networking task. So we have these approaches to do this and to achieve the network automation. But it's a, whenever we start with CCNA, so when we start with CCNA, we have zero expectations from the students, because CCNA is for beginners, right? CCNA is for beginners. So we start from scratch and we don't expect this student to know anything about networking and all, but still they are able to understand because we started from scratch. But here, this is course for Python. This course is for Python. So from my side, I'm just expecting that you guys know about the basics of networking. Basics of networking. So yes, guys, please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think most of us in this group are network engineers, but we just have issues with how to use how to work with the workflow, the JSON and other stuff. That's why, me particularly, that's why I'm here.
JSON and XML, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and let's just say, so for how long you are working in the industry?
Yes, sir.
For 10 years.
Almost?
Yes, I'm an IT support support
Oh,
engineer.
glad to know that. All right. So, yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, Mr. So yes, been network engineer for the 6 years experience, and yes, I do have CCNA and CCNP knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, looking forward for this miss kind of miss how the AI is changing to the industry and how the DevOps things coming the pictures and how the engineering also moving to the in automation field. So it's a kind of Terraform and how we to do the something with pipeline between Git with what I know in this automation. So these things, and so that's why I took the this automation.
All right. Okay. And his, yeah, Shankar. Hi, Shankar. Can you hear me? Shankar.
Satish here.
Yes,
Hello.
this.
Yeah, actually, I'm working in network engineer since the last 6 years. Not only network security as well. So the thing is like here we are using automation for repeated activity. So like if any switch configuration, route configuration, everything like here we are doing like either using Python or what can I say Ansible tower. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know like how to create a script, Ansible script, like how you are calling libraries and everything. So like I'm not sure like how to call libraries and everything. So that's the reason I joined this course like basics and like how to use automation in network field.
Okay.
So that's the reason I joined this automation course.
All right. So in this case,
Mhm.
we have Python. First of all, we will be starting with the basics of Python. I know that you guys know about basic Python, but we'll starting from the basics, that how we
Okay.
can have a workflow.
Those that don't know the basics, please go from the scratch.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Uh, So in the basics of Python, we'll be starting with this, and in the basics of Python, first of all, we'll be starting like how to install Python in your laptop. First of all, then we need a software to write the codes, and for that, we'll be using the VS Code. VS Code software installation. Because to start with the Python or to learn the Python, we must have the infrastructure first. So we have to install Python in our laptop first, and once we install the Python, then we'll be starting the installation of the VS Code software installation. Using the VS Code, we will be writing the scripts. So like if I show you here in my CMD, if I just type Python, so you can see that in my laptop, Python is already installed, 3.11 version. But if you check in your laptop, you might not have the Python right now. So Python will be installed first of all in the laptop. Once we'll install the Python, once we'll download the Python, then we'll be installing the VS Code. Right now, I have removed the VS Code, sorry, Virtual Studio Code. I remember I've removed it, but yeah, it's present in my laptop. So we'll be seeing that how to add or install the VS Code software. Then EVNG software. How many of you know about EVNG?
If I have the EVE for my CCNA and CCNP labs, so I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, in my lab, like I'm using GNS3. Hope like both are the same, like EVNG and GNS3, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, so in this EVNG, we'll be adding the routers because once once we'll create the scripts, those script needs to be pushed on the routers, and once we'll push those configurations or these scripts, then we'll be able to see the output. Like we'll be using JSON and XML, right? After that, Python basics, because this is what we need first, so that we can start learning the Python. And in the Python basics, we'll be learning about, first of all, we'll be starting with the syntax. What is the syntax of Python, right? After learning the syntax of the Python, you might have heard about variables, right? Might have heard about variables. So in Python, we have variables. In Python, we have string. What is a string? In Python, we have list, tuple. What is a tuple? How to use them, right? Then we have if else loop, for loop. In Python, we have while loops. Yeah, guys. Out of this, right? Then in Python, we have data types. We have dictionaries. So first of all, in first few days, is we'll be able to build the knowledge for the Python basics, or the syntax, variable, strings, list, tuple, if-else loops, for loop, while loops. If-else condition is there, not we can't say loop, right? Then in Python we have set also, Python sets. What is the Python sets, right? Then in Python we have some conditions like Python booleans, Python operators we have. So we'll be learning about Python first. We'll be learning about the basics Python here. And we always start from the very basic, which is this print hello world. Like why do we need to write like this? Why we use the command all? This is the first thing we're gonna do here, right? Print hello world like this. So like if I say 2 plus 2 is gonna 4, 2 multiply by 2, then if else condition, if 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, it's true. If 2 is plus 2 is not equal to 4, it's false. So like these, a lot of things are there because to create a script, that's a later thing. To create a script for automating the task, first we will be learning each and every concept individually, that how we use them, how to create the basic scripts, what are the variables, what are the strings, what are the lists, because later once we'll create these scripts, at that time these things will be helpful. Then we have data formats, which is very very important to understand. In that data format we have two formats here: JSON and XML. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. We'll understand about JSON. What is JSON? JavaScript Object Notation. What is XML? Extensible Markup Language. And why do we need these data formats? That why do we need these data formats, JSON and XML? Then we have libraries, Python libraries. Let's say I was talking to you about Evengy, right? So in Evengy software, we have a router, but I want to push the code to that router. But how I'll access the router? How I'll access the CLI of the router? Because this is a router, and I want to push configuration to this router. But the question is that how I'll go and how I'll reach to this device. Either I'll use the Telnet protocol or I'll use the SSH protocol. I'm sure that all of you guys know about Telnet and SSH, right?
Yes.
So Telnet and SSH. For that, we have in Python we have a Telnet library, and it is known as Telnet lib. Then we have NetMiko also, as well as we have Paramiko. telnetlib, netmico, paramico. Then in this Python, when we are using all these libraries, we have a function known as import function. Because when you talk about Python, that like in my case, in my laptop, Python is already installed. If I go to the Python, if I go to the CMD, Python is already installed. So in Python, we have some inbuilt libraries, but some libraries are not there, right? The specific libraries. So we have to import those libraries.
We can't see your screen.
Sorry.
We cannot
Uh,
see. I don't know. We can't see your screen. The Python. I don't know
you can
if
see,
you.
right?
No, we cannot see.
You can't see?
No, sir, we can
We
see
can
only
see the for the yes.
your page means that's it. If you are,
Just a second, just a second. So I hope you can see it now.
yes, switch over by yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So in Python, we have built-in libraries, but we also have to import some libraries so that we can use for them specific functions. Like when we talk about telnet libraries, so telnet libraries are not present in the Python. We have to import it. So in Python, we have import function also, which is very important to understand, and we use this Python import function to import the libraries which are not present in the Python. So like telnet library and all. Then we have some tools to manage the configuration, right? Or to manage the network devices like Puppet, Ceph. We are not using them nowadays. We are not using Puppet. We are not using Ceph. But we have Ansible. And the very latest we have is Terraform. So we have Puppet, we have Ceph, we have Ansible, and as well as we have the Terraform here. So using these Puppet, Ceph, Ansible, Terraform is very important. So we'll be seeing that how to use the Ansible and how to use the Terraform. I'll just give you an introduction of Puppet and Ceph, but they're not used nowadays with the configuration management tools and the automation tools. All right, make sense till now?
yeah, perfect.
This is kind of an introduction class, guys. So please feel free to ask if you have any queries. Okay, we'll see that how to start the actual topics, or we'll be starting it from tomorrow. But this is just kind of a introduction class where we see that what we're going to discuss throughout this course, and to know about each other and to know about your queries as well. So if you have any challenge till now, please feel free to ask.
No, sir, not till now. Later I will ask.
Till now, is everything clear
Yes.
for everyone?
But
Okay. So what Cisco did, all these things were included after 2020. In Feb 2020, Cisco announced some changes in the certificates. And at that time, all of these concepts were introduced. At that time, they've started talking about network automation. They started talking about network automation. Because right now, or at 2020, before 2020, most of the time we were following a traditional approach. We were following a traditional approach to manage our networks. But the problem is in traditional network, let's say if I want to access a router, this is my router, and I want to make configuration on this router, guys. By how many ways we can access the CLI of this router? How many methods do we have to access the CLI?
Through console, telnet, or SSH.
Yeah. So either we can have the console, right? Or we can have the remote access.
Yeah. And GUI or GUI.
Yeah, but not all of the devices support the GUI. Most of them, yes, but earlier not all of the devices were built for GUI access because GUI access is very CPU intensive. So in remote access, we have two protocols. Telnet and SSH. Telnet and SSH. So using Telnet and SSH, the advantage is that I can access my devices from remote locations as well. And for that, for Telnet and SSH, the very basic requirement is the IP connectivity. So IP connectivity is the very basic requirement for remote access or
Or,
for Telnet or
or
SSH access.
the host name is not possible.
The host name and all is required for SSH to generate the keys, right? Host name and domain name. But the basic connectivity is basic requirement is IP connectivity, because through the console I can access this device. I'll just need to plug in the console, and once I'll plug in the console, I need to be present nearby the device, either 1 meter or 2 meter distance, and I must be there. So once I'll access it, I'll be able to I'll be able to push the configuration to the CLI, and then the configuration through the console cable will be given to the router. So we were not having any centralized approach. We were doing everything manual. Now in manual, whenever we access the device, first of all, we always do what? We always make the initial configuration. Now, if you want to automate a router through Python, in that case also, you can't start it from directly from the VS Code, that I'll just create a script in the VS Code and I'll start pushing the configuration. No, still initial configuration is required, because I will be pushing a Python script from a remote device. So for that case, the router, the switch, all of these devices must be reachable first. So either I want to have the network automation. In that case also, first of all, we have to log into the router. We have to make some initial configurations. We have to make IP configurations. We have to enable Telnet or SSH, so that someone can access it from remote location and they can push the scripts. So initial configuration is required. Either you are using the traditional approach or the network automation. But what are the problems with traditional approach? If you want to troubleshoot, you have to go to each and every device to check the analytics, to check the system logs, to check the problems. If I want to upgrade iOS, I'm sure that when you have gone through your CCNA training, so when you're working in real-time network, you have upgraded the operating system of the devices, right?
Yes.
How do we upgrade the system or the iOS of the devices?
Through TFTP.
We set up a TFTP
Yes.
server somewhere, right?
Yes.
In the TFTP server, we have the latest file. Then I'll go to the router and I'll say, okay, please request to the TFTP server for the file. The router will request to the TFTP server for the file. TFTP server will give a response. After TFTP server will give a response, I'll get the image. I want to take the configuration backup. In order to take the configuration backup, I need to go to each and every device individually, and then I'll do what? I'll be taking the configuration backup. Now, you know what? If you have a Python script, you can just give the list of the end devices or list of the routers and switches to the Python script, and you can tell the Python script to get the configuration backup and save it to a text file. That's why in Python, we'll be learning about file also. You know what I can do is, in Python, we can do a very interesting thing. Let's say I have 10 routers and I want to take the configuration backup. We can use Python script to do what? I can just write a Python script. Python script will go to all the devices which I give in the list, that this is the IP address of the devices. And you will ask for the startup configuration or for the running configuration, and then you'll be saving it to a file. And you can also mention that what would be the file name. Let's say you can say file name would be like router1.txt, whatever the host name, router2.txt. So the file will be saved in text format in your device. You don't have to go to each and every device for taking the configuration backup. You can just create a script. But right now, this is the traditional approach. And in this traditional approach, what we do, we go to the devices, each and in every router, and then I say copy, let's say running configuration to TFTP. Then I tell the TFTP IP address and all. So then router will send it to the TFTP server. But using the scripts, using the automation, we can write down a script, and using that script, all of the configuration of network devices will be retrieved or will be requested, and they'll be also saved to a text file automatically. But right now, this whole approach is manual configuration backup also, right? And the list goes on. Now, when we talk about a network device, in network device, you might have heard these things, right? In a network device, we always have three planes: management plane. What are the other two planes?
Control plane,
Control plane,
data plane.
Control plane
data plane.
and data plane. What is the difference, guys?
Management plane is used to with logging the device usually, and control plane is used for the functionality with routing or with, if anything which is with, related to. And data means if we are sending the information between, or we are exchanging the data from the one device to another device.
Very good. So, the physical interfaces of a device, they always belongs to the data plane. They always belongs to the data plane. These are the building blocks. Right now, you might be thinking that we are supposed to learn Python. Yeah, I agree that we are supposed to learn Python. But first, let's just build you know, the foundation so that we don't struggle with the terms when we came to know about them. Okay, Python is, yeah, we'll start learning Python. But first of all, we're learning that why do we need it, or how it can be helpful to us, because only then learning Python would be easy and interesting. But if we don't know that why do we need it, then it will always be a challenge when we'll be doing the configuration. Okay, so here we have management plane, control plane, data plane. Each plane is responsible for some functions. The data planes functions is to the interfaces. The interfaces belongs to the data plane. But the problem is the physical interfaces, they don't have the intelligence. They don't know how to forward the traffic and where to forward the traffic. How to forward the traffic and where to forward the traffic. So they simply receives the traffic. After receiving the traffic, they'll go to the control plane. So control plane is managing everything. Control plane is managing the configuration. Control plane is managing the routing table, ARP table. If you have configured access control list, you have configured network address translation. So control plane is the brain of the network device. It is the brain of the network device. Okay, and the management plane is handling the traffic. The management plane is handling the traffic like telnet traffic, SSS traffic, SNMP traffic, TFTP traffic, FTP traffic. So all these type of traffic is handled by the management plane. All these kind of traffic is handled by the management plane, but they are not the physical planes. They are not the logical planes. Sorry, they are the logical planes, by the way, no, not the physical one. So if I log into the device, or if I just open the physical box, I can't see these planes there. They are just here for our understanding. Now, each device is having their own control plane. So that's why if I want this router to behave in a certain way, if I want this router to behave in a certain way, I have to make the configuration. But again, how I'll make the configuration? I will program the control plane of this router first. Then I'll program the control plane of this router again. So you know what we call it? We have given it a specific term that is known as distributed configuration model. Distributed configuration model. We have started calling it distributed configuration model. It means that the configuration of the network devices is distributed. We don't have any centralized approach. We don't have any centralized approach. First, I'll make the configuration on router 1. Then I'll make the configuration on router 2. Distributed configuration model. But once you learn the Python, or once you learn how to create Python scripts, you can do a lot of things. First, you can access network components or network devices like routers, switches, and firewall. Okay. Then you can make the configuration. So either you can retrieve or you can update configurations using the Python scripts. You can retrieve or you can update the configurations. Right now, if you want to upgrade the configurations, you have to do it again one by one, and you have to go to those devices. But now in the Python scripts, I'll be on the VS Code. Let's say I'll be creating the scripts only, and then the scripts will be pushed automatically. I don't have to deal with the network device directly. I can just go to the Python. I can just write down the script on the basis of IP network connectivity. I can push the configuration, or I can push the script. Then we can share or we can have the GET request to know about the device. So we can monitor device health and traffic. We can monitor device health and traffic. And as well as we can automate repetitive tasks. If I want to automate the repetitive task, I can automate those tasks also. Then multi-vendor support. Guys, have you ever worked on multiple vendors other than Cisco?
Let's say Juniper, Aruba.
Right?
Working Juniper checkpoint.
Yeah. So you have noticed one thing, that the CLI is different. The command line is different, right?
Yes.
But when you're habitual to the scripts, so scripts are almost identical. You just need, if you understand the Python scripts, then it gives you multi-vendor support also. So Python, also boosts the speed and accuracy of network tasks in your multi-vendor environment.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, boost network.
Yeah. Then the Python is also going to help you in future, guys, because Cisco is offering some specific certifications. You might have heard of CCNA DevNet. Have you? Anyone?
No.
CCNP DevNet and CCIE DevNet. But now they're gonna soon be rebranded as, they've changed the name, CCNA Automation, CCNP Automation. So earlier they were known as like this, but now they have changed the name, CCNP Automation and CCIE Automation. Cisco is not directly dealing with the Python basically. They're not just saying, or they don't have any Python course, but they have the requirement of the Python. So if you go to cisco.com, let me if you visit here, learn, and you say learn with Cisco. So you click on career certifications. In the career certifications, you see a lot of domains here: collaboration, cybersecurity, data center, design, DevNet, enterprise, security, service provider, additional certifications. So in this, we have the DevNet. We have the DevNet. Now more than ever, streamlining network operations is a must for any business, becoming a vital member of today's IT with expertise in all phases of network automation. So here you have CCNA DevNet Associate, Cisco Certified DevNet Professional, and Cisco Certified DevNet Expert. Soon they'll be known as CCNA Automation, CCNP Automation, and CCIE Automation. So these certifications were designed to make the network engineers the next generation engineers, because in the upcoming years we will be automating a lot of network tasks. 80% of the network industry will migrate to network automation solutions by 2025. 20% is projected DevOps market growth between 2020 and 20 26. And 31% of DevOps teams' time is spent on manual approaches that are not scalable. That's why we want us to learn the automation so that instead of spending more time on the manual approaches, we can automate the tasks. We can automate the tasks. So that's why you start from CCNA DevNet. But once you have the Python knowledge, once you have the Ansible knowledge, you are ready to go to CCNA DevNet. It is the full-fledged course in which you just not focus on the Python, but you also focus on a lot of other things. Like if I just give you a visit to the course content. In this DevNet, it is not just focused on Python, guys. It is focused on software design basics, Python, Git, common data formats, XML, JSON, YAML, coding for Cisco platforms, application deployment, and network fundamentals. So it is a very vast course. And here we can click on explore exam and trainings, and then it will show us the exam topics. So you can see that it is divided into total 6 sections. It is divided into total 6 sections. We have software development and design, understanding and using APIs, Cisco platforms and development, application deployment and security, infrastructure and automation, and network fundamentals. Network fundamentals. So Python, API. Construct a Python unit test, right? You see a lot of things related to the Python. In the first section also, describe parsing of common data formats to Python data structure. In the APIs also, we'll have the REST API and all. Construct a Python script that calls a REST API using the request library. Then in this section also, we have construct code to perform a specific operations. In application deployment and security, do we have Python here? No. Then infrastructure and automation. In this infrastructure and automation also, we need to have the Python knowledge so that we can understand what is the Yang model, what is an API call, or we can see that identify the workflow being automated by a Python scripts. The workflow being automated by a Python scripts. Network fundamentals, they're required. Like you go for any course, either you go for CCNA, CCNP, data center, automation, whatever course you choose, but network fundamentals must be clear. Only then all these things will make sense. So Python for network engineers is very helpful, and in this course we're going to cover it. And then later on you'll be ready to go for CCNA DevNet, CCNP DevNet, or CCIE DevNet. Now, I like said earlier what is required and what is not required. So for this course, you're not required to have any prior knowledge of coding. No prior coding experience is needed. But like I said that, must have the basic understanding of network fundamentals, like how to configure telnet, how to configure SSH, how to configure the IP addresses on the device, what is an IP address, what is a subnet mask, what is routing, what is switching. So if this is clear, then this course is the best decision for you. Okay. Then after learning this, the Python, you guys will be ready to create Python data structures. You'll be able to create Python scripts to interact with files, .text file or other formats also. You will be ready to write scripts including the Python loops as well as the conditions or conditional codes. Then you'll be able to write, debug and test Python code also. Python code also. Okay, guys. So till now, please feel free to ask if you have any specific question here.
So just one thing I want to understand. So as you said, means this is monitor. We monitor the health and traffic. So something, if it is something happen, means any issues with related to loop or some Mac flapping. So is it possible if we can set the interface also by the Python script, or means
In
what
that
is
case,
it?
first of all, we have to track that activity, that interface is going down or something like that happened on the device. Okay. To track
Yes.
that, we are collecting the logs using the servers like the syslog servers or SNMP servers. So first of all, we have to detect that situation. That situation will generate an alarm. That time also we can attach a Python script here. That if something like this happens, you can just execute a script which will disable those interfaces and all. But first of all, we have to track that situation using the syslog or SNMP. Now, for this, we are not supposed to this is not required to have CCNA, CCNP certifications. If you have the certifications, great, but you're not required to have that certifications. Okay, like if you want to just learn the Python, there is no such thing required. So this is going to be a great start, guys, for a better future. Okay, I'll not say that okay once you learn the Python, you are good for the network automation. This is just the starting point. In future, we have to learn a lot of things, but this is going to be the basics of your learning experience. Plus, once you learn the Python, once you do the hard thing first, then the later things will be easier to us. I'm not saying that Python is hard, but yes, for a beginner, Python will be, it will require a lot of time to learn. But I'll try to make it as easy as possible and as much as practicals, because practicals is our first focus. Theory plus practical, both things will be covered here. We have a WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group. So what I will be doing here, I will be sharing these notes with you guys in the WhatsApp group itself. So you can just simply export it, share, okay, and then on WhatsApp, I'll be sharing all these notes with you guys. So you'll get the notes after the class, so that you can have these notes for revision. Like this, we have this Python automation.
And one more thing, Amit, like in this course, like we'll cover only Python or Ansible also include.
Yeah, Ansible also. Yeah, Python plus Ansible.
And Terraform also, right?
Sorry.
Terraform. Terraform.
Actually, the Terraform is not part of this course curriculum, but yes, I'll give you the idea of the Terraform, what is Terraform, and how it can be useful.
Yeah, please, sir. Yes. If it is. Because nowadays more infrastructure comes in the Terraform only. It's kind of.
Yes.
Please give me that knowledge.
All right, guys, then it was just a quick introduction. So from tomorrow, we'll be starting with the actual course, okay? And we'll be doing good in this path. So I wish you all the best for this journey. I hope you cleared your questions, right? No questions till now?
Yeah, Amit, and one more thing, like how many months it will take to complete this course?
It will take 30 to 40 hours. So now the thing is that we have weekends only, right?
Right.
So on weekends we have 4 hours every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see like since it will take almost 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
All right. If it would be in weekdays, it will take just 1 month, but in weekend it will take 2 months.
Okay, Mithila.